Hey everybody, so I'm here for part 2, and this one's going to be a lot shorter, so I don't have as many. So I just picked up some other scent shots. I got the rest of the new ones that I hadn't tried yet that were released this year, and then I got a few other random ones that I've been wanting to try. So I'll start off with, I got Buttercream as a free scent shot. And I've had Buttercream Crunch before, and this is kind of similar to that one. If you've had Trick or Treat or the Christmas Buttered Rum or Buttercream Crunch, they're all kind of similar. They're all very like buttery and sweet. This one is not as intense as Buttercream Crunches, I would say. It's a lot sweeter, more like actual buttercream frosting, so yeah. Okay, coconut cake. This one smells a lot like Victoria's coconut scent, which to me smells almost like a tanning oil. And then maybe like a hint of like a cherry almond type note in the background. I haven't had this one very long, so as it cures, more of that cherry almond note's coming out, because when I first got it, it was almost all coconut. So I think once this finishes curing, once it's warm, it's going to be a lot nicer. Okay. Candy corn. This is another one that's kind of like buttercream. This one's a lot heavier though. And to me, it doesn't really smell like candy corn. I'm trying to think what it smells like. It smells like, if you've ever had brittle, like peanut brittle or cashew brittle, that's what this smells like. Yeah, it smells a lot like peanut brittle. Okay. Starfruit and mango. This is just a random one that I've heard so much about that for some reason I'd never tried. I love Victoria's mango scents, and this is no exception. I don't really know what Starfruit's supposed to smell like, but this is an amazing mango, and it has another really juicy fruit in the background. So that'll be a great one for summer. I'm excited. Orange juice cake. This one has her fresh squeezed oranges in it. And then it's got maybe like a slight cherry almond cake in the background. I'm getting mostly orange though. I think when this is warmed up, I'm going to get a lot more of the cake. But yeah, this is another one that I've heard a lot about that for some reason I hadn't gotten yet. Okay. Geisha. This is one that's in the Candleman's Closet, and typically I don't like those scents. There are very few in there that I do like. This one's not too bad though. Those scents are really hard to describe, and I think, I'm trying to remember if this is a soap or a bubble bar that it's supposed to be duping. I'm not sure. It doesn't really smell like any of the other scents that are in the Candleman's Closet to me, though. Because, like, Heavy Metal and Sweet Angel Dust and Pink Bubblegum Crush all smell kind of similar. This one's a little bit different. It maybe has a slight, maybe slightly something that's in What Goes Around Comes Around. Because it almost has that water note that I talk about every once in a while. But it's not quite there. It's not as strong as it is in some of the other scents. So yeah, Geisha is a nice one. It's kind of like almost like a little bit floral too. Okay, Rosemary Mint. I think this was another free one. I have 2 orders that I've combined here. And this one is strong. It has that herbal rosemary, and then it has a very strong peppermint. Very strong peppermint. Yeah, that's one that will have to be melted in moderation because it's super, super strong. Dark Angel. This is one that was created for a YouTuber, and I've tried the other 2 scents that are kind of in that series, which are Silent Bob Goes to the Beach and Sonny and Cher. This one smells kind of similar to Sonny and Cher because it does have mint in it. But I think this one has spearmint in addition to peppermint, as opposed to just straight up peppermint. And plus it's got some really sweet, maybe like Egyptian musk in the background. Yeah, it's like a very, very pretty fragrance, kind of like a perfume with mint. So, Dark Angel's very pretty. Okay, and I think that the rest of these are all ones that were released this year at some point. So we'll start off here with Dulce de Leche, which is kind of like a caramel scent. Maybe a slight nuttiness to it. But yeah, it's just kind of like a deep caramel type scent. Yeah. Kind of along the same vein, sea salt caramels. This one, though, is different than Dulce de Leche because it's got kind of that salty note to it. That's kind of hard to explain, but it's not as sweet as Dulce de Leche is, or as a lot of the other caramel scents are. And I want to say it's kind of in the same vein as like Buttercream and stuff, but it's just not as strong. Deep Mountain Maple. This is a very nice maple scent. So if you're looking for just like a straight up maple, this is it. It smells a lot like pure maple syrup. Maybe slightly different, maybe not quite as sweet, but yeah. Captain Crunch Berries. This is another one that's in that cereal series. And yeah, the more this one cures, the more that it smells like actual crunch berries. So yeah, if you've had that cereal before, if anything, this is just a little bit more of like a fruit juicy type of berry. But it definitely has that cereal note in the background. Trix Are for kids. Now, I've had more Trix up my sleeve, which I really like. And this is part of what's in there. I like, you know, everyone has said before me, this smells a lot like Fruit Loops, but it's more of a lemon, whereas Fruit Loops is more of maybe like an orange. This is more of like a lemon lime type of scent. But yeah, kind of similar to Fruit Loops. Zucchini pumpkin bread. Now, I've had zucchini bread and I've had Granny's Apron, and I like Granny's Apron better than zucchini bread, and I think I like this one better than zucchini bread too. Zucchini bread by itself is just very savory to me. This one has that sweet pumpkin in it, and it really tones down the zucchini bread. Zucchini bread's also one that's very, very strong, so I think that one's going to be very nice. Caramel Nut Cluster. This one is kind of like sea salt caramels and Dulce de Leche, except it has a little bit of nuttiness to it. It's kind of like a less intense version of caramelized pralines, and it almost smells like it's got chocolate in it. So it kind of reminds me of, you know, those turtles, the candy that are like caramel and nuts that are covered in chocolate. It kind of smells like those. So yeah, it's a little bit salty from the nut and then kind of sweet. So yeah, kind of similar to caramelized pralines, but just not near as strong. Okay, Teakwood and Cardamom. I haven't really heard much about this one since it came out. I think it came out in March. And I think it's because it's one that probably does not appeal to most people. It's a very woodsy scent. And then it's got that cardamom, which is a very like intense spice. So, yeah. It's like a very intense, spicy, woodsy type of fragrance. 3-Ring Circus. This one is, I guess Victoria had a little bit of a mishap back in either August or September, whenever she added the new scents to the website, she forgot that I guess she'd added 3-Ring Circus and Under the Big Top as scents, when really it was just supposed to be Under the Big Top. Under the Big Top is the fresh picked strawberry, the cotton candy, and the caramelized pralines. And the 3-Ring Circus candle has those 3 scents in it. So now she has the 3-Ring Circus scent shot, which is fresh picked strawberry, cotton candy, caramelized pralines, and blue sugar cotton candy. So it is very similar to Under the Big Top, but it does have a slight hint of the blue sugar cotton candy. So this one is stronger on like the cotton candy note because it's got both cotton candy and blue sugar cotton candy in it. But yeah, it's just got that slight bit of blue sugar. Just kind of makes it a little bit different. It's not quite as, I guess, the caramelized pralines really makes it not as sweet, and this adds that sweetness back into it, but it's different than just the Ringmaster fragrance. Apple Butter Festival. This was a customer creation of apple cinnamon butter and I want to say kettle corn, I believe. Yeah, kettle corn. I really like it. I really love cinnamon apple butter, or apple cinnamon butter, and I really like kettle corn, so together they're fabulous. So yeah, this is another one, another customer creation that, you know, is amazing. Knocked out of the park. And then the last one here is Cold December Night. I was going to include this in with the Christmas scents, but I decided since it's a customer creation to pull it out. This is Sugared Spruce and Sweet Snow, and it is absolutely amazing. I love those 2 fragrances, and together they are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Perfect, perfect for winter, and not just for Christmas. Like, I think this is one that I don't even really think of Christmas when I think of this. I think of winter. So yeah, so if you're looking for a quintessential winter scent, Cold December Night is it. So that was my October haul. I had a couple other things that I didn't include, but they're gifts, so I wasn't going to include them in here anyway. So yeah, so as always, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.